Hello, beloved friends. I'm Reverend Kira Baer, and this is our continuing series on Lessons in Truth by H. Emily Cady. Such powerful basis of truth, really teaching us how to have a foundation and establish it within ourselves, living in alignment with the immutable laws of the universe. These are basic unity teachings, but they apply whether you're in unity or any tradition. You can learn to understand how truth principle operates and then begin to claim and know the truth of who and what you are so that you can find inner freedom. Freedom from suffering, freedom from the places where you've lived in bondage to false beliefs and ideas that hold us back and create limitation. And so in this material, we begin by understanding that we are one with this infinite side of ourselves, with this, whether we call it the God self, the Christ consciousness, the higher self, that we have this infinite side, that we are operating in this finite world, but this infinite side is allowing us to understand there is so much more to the picture. And when I begin to operate from the knowing that I am this infinite, I am this child, this image and likeness of the God essence, of the divine oneness, whatever name or knowing, of love itself, I recognize that I also therefore have inherited the entire kingdom, queendom. The God consciousness is alive in me, in you, in every single aspect of creation. And when I begin to understand that, I live in relationship to every aspect of creation very differently. I show up recognizing this is God, this is God, this is God. How am I going to operate knowing that you are that spark of divinity? And I am that spark of divinity. And so we begin to understand that this divine intelligence is everywhere, and everything has that consciousness within it at its core. And as a result, I am also that, and I begin to choose to use the free will zone and the power that is given to me to choose different ways of thinking and experiencing the world. When I do that, I choose my perceptions, I choose the thoughts, how that makes me feel inside. I become empowered to create a world and a life that is in harmony inside of me. Now, does it mean things are showing up that way in everything around me in harmony and peace? Not necessarily. But what they are doing is they're just doing what they're doing. They're expressing this divine experience no matter what I call it, how I judge it. When I step out of that and know that I am one with this and I can create my inner reality, and that will translate into a different outer experience for me. And it may be different than those around me who are seeing things and judging them and struggling with them and suffering over them. I may not do that when I am choosing a different way of perceiving and holding a higher truth because I'm thinking differently about it. We went into denials and affirmations. I deny all of this outer existence to have power over me. I deny those thoughts and beliefs that I've been in bondage to have power. Instead, what has power is truth, absolute truth. Not truth that can be changed according to someone's idea in the moment or even through time. It is a truth that is eternal. And when I begin to understand those eternal truths, I deny false power and I affirm truth in the midst of every circumstance. It's as if the light goes on. The sun comes out within me. I begin to feel a new radiance, a new awareness, and I begin to live from that higher calling. As a result, I begin to understand these laws and I have faith in the laws. I'm no longer operating from a blind faith. I am consciously choosing an understanding faith, and an understanding that is not based upon circumstances of the moment. It's a faith that is based upon these immutable laws, and that's why I can have a faith that is so profound and powerful, because I know that the law works every time. not part of the time. We know this as an example in gravity. It doesn't work part of the time. It works 100% of the time. And when we live according to truth, it is going to always work in the way that it is designed to work. So if I align to it, I suddenly have a different experience. And my faith is rewarded. I see the results of it because I stay strong in knowing that this is the way it always is. The universe is benevolent. There is this infinite intelligence in all things. All things have a divine order to them. In those understanding experiences and then established faith, I begin to operate differently. And we take that into this next lesson. This week, we're working on a chapter on chemicalization, personality, and individuality. And this is one that was at first actually removed from Lessons in Truth for a while because it was challenging for people to understand that when we have spent our life being established in false ideas and beliefs, and we begin to deny the power of other things, a false power, and we instead align and affirm the truth, we might find that there is an experience within us of what we call chemicalization. It's like putting acid and alkaline together. You put certain things together, sour milk and carbonated beverage, and all of a sudden there is a flow of overflowing, of the bubbling up of all kinds of things. Well, in us, we may have a bubbling up of false beliefs, of fears, of ways we perceived ourselves, or even our ego wanting to act out and claim and hold on to the old beliefs because it's challenging to the ego to let go. And so when we have these new faith and with this new affirmation and we're aligning with truth, then anything unlike that must rise to the surface to be set free. The less resistance we have, the easier it is for that to be released. The more fixed we are in our beliefs and our ideas and our way of seeing the world. We may have our worldview that is focused in a particular way. And if we are then now taking down the walls and opening our view, opening our mind, our awareness, it can cause some disturbance within us because this may not be the way we've seen it before, the way we've understood. And now all of a sudden, I no longer have the same things that I've stood firm on. And yet what's being established in me is a higher way of aligning to truth and having that live out in my life. Now, what occurs in that is also the process of understanding personality is we all have a personality. It's the concept of an ego. It's the aspect of us that the way we've defined ourselves. But our individuality is our God self. Our individuality is that which is the infinite, that is never changing, that always is coming forth as the highest expression of us. So the more we create truth and live by truth and align with these laws, our personality will start to take more of a back seat and our individuality comes forth. Now, there's some incredible difference between these. And when you experience someone with a lot of personality, it's as if there is a dissonance between you, or your personality begins to fight with their personality. But when you stay aligned and allow individuality, everyone that's allowed individuality, it's their God self to come forth, to be that which leads the way, that will always uplift others. It will always encourage and to see that we are all equally aligned in that one spirit of truth. And I know who and what you are, as you know who and what I am. And that has a simplicity to it. And it has an empowerment to it. And it has a joy and a life energy. We'll talk more about this on Sunday at Unity Bay Area, Houston. I hope you'll come and enjoy us. Yeah, come and enjoy us. Come and join us also. You can join us and enjoy us, and we'll enjoy you too. And that's at 10:30 Sunday morning at Unity Bay Area, Houston, 1911 Highway 3 South in League City, Texas. Or come find us at Unity Bay Area Houston Facebook page. We'll be live streaming, and we look forward to taking more in depth this material to understand it at a deeper level and transform our lives. We're here to create a life of freedom, of joy, and to bring that harmony into the world that all may know the truth and be set free. God bless you, friends. Have a fabulous week. See you Sunday.